Good morning, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. So have you ever spent time looking at a piece of art? For example, the painting that I have here in my office. If you look at this painting, you're going to see very carefully a shaft of light that the painter put down the middle, it kind of dissects the painting. And that shaft of light draws your attention to the focus point of the painting, which are the pedestrians. This is the life of New York City. It's not the buildings. The buildings may make us think of New York City, but the life are the people, and that's where the light's focused. This ability to focus is done in language, in the English language. It's often done by the way we write with fonts. We might use a bold font, or modern people use an emoticon, or we'll put an exclamation mark, or we'll underline something. We're able to use different tools to show emphasis. Well, at the time Paul wrote the Greek New Testament, the main way to show emphasis in language was not by punctuation, wasn't by underlining, it wasn't by writing extra big or in capital letters. It was by the form of writing, and one of the most common ways to show emphasis was word order. The order in which you put words shows what you wanted to emphasize. Here's the reason that's important today. This week we're talking about peace. And today I wanted to talk about peace with God. That's the most important peace we're ever going to find. When we have peace with God, that permeates the rest of our lives and brings us an internal peace. And it brings us an ability to find peace with others, peace with society, and it transforms who we are. So let's look at what Paul wrote to the Romans in the 5th chapter. Now, if I'm reading it in an English Bible, I typically will read something that says like, therefore, since we have been justified by faith, we have peace with God. Since we've been justified by faith through Jesus Christ, we have peace with God. Now, that's a marvelous, marvelous concept. But when you read it in the Greek, it's got the light focused in on something very important. The Greek, the very first word that Paul uses, which is his emphasis word, is the word justified. So he starts out, justified. By faith through Jesus Christ, we have peace with God. I want you to think about this for a moment. God is a holy God. God's not a computer program. God's not just a concept. There's a real being. We use the word God for this being. This being is in some ways beyond our ability to understand, yet we do have some understanding of this being because he has revealed himself to us through his word. We get a perception of him through the world in which he made, and we certainly get a perception of him through ourselves because he made us. So this God who made us is a God where we cannot on our own simply come before him on his terms. We can't. We don't measure up to his holiness and his goodness and his purity and his righteousness. And so for us to be in a peaceful relationship with this God, we have to have something that allows us to approach him on his level. Specifically, his level of holiness. And we don't have that on our own. We're never able to approach God because we match his holiness, we match his goodness, we are adequate on ourselves. So if we're going to have peace with God, we've got to find ourselves made right before him, made consistent with his holiness and purity. And that ray of light is found in being justified. The dikaiosune word in Greek is justification is being right, being declared not guilty of any impurity, of any sin at all. And that comes, Paul says, through Jesus Christ. And so as we come before God through Jesus, through the righteousness that is his, which he gives us as we just ask him for it, accept it, then in that way we find peace with God. I hope the light in your world is bringing you peace with God today, and that's your emphasis. More on peace tomorrow.